Hey guys, today I'll be doing an installation of the G&G power pack for the KGW M700. I'm not going to install the cocking piece because this cocking piece is not 100% compatible with the KGW M700 bolt or Tanaka M700 bolt for some reason. So I'll only be installing the striker spring and the bolt and the mag parts. The cocking piece, in my opinion, should be left to install after your original cocking piece wears out. Then you can put in more effort to grind down the cocking piece to make it fit your bolts. So I've got these components apart. I'm going to switch my screwdriver head to fit the cocking piece in the back of the bolts. You need a certain sized Allen to fit inside the bolt. See, does this fit? Yes, this fits. I'm basically just doing what I showed in the disassembly in comparison of the power bolt and the KGW M700 bolt. You have to remove the cocking piece before you can remove the striker. And we have this unscrewed now, and the cocking piece comes out. And you can just take off your striker spring, or you should be able to. Just take off your striker spring. It's really tight on the spring guide. These two parts will come off in half. Forgot about that. Okay. Now that you have that old striker spring off, I'm gonna pop open the power pack and going to remove a striker spring. As you can see, it's kind of weird. The striker string is shorter, and but it's much stiffer than the original striker spring. I'm going to find some grease to add to it. I have some basic silicone oil that I'm just going to use because I don't really care to grease this up that much. Okay, it's spilling on the table and stuff. So you've got that greased up. Going to put this striker spring back onto the bolt if you can. I remember there was a different way to do this. HODWIRE.com. Alright, you're gonna put the striker spring on from the top. And then you're going to, now this is the hard part, going to compress this and put this plastic piece on it, on the inside. See, like that. I don't want to touch the camera right now, I'll show you that after. My hands are really greasy. Gosh, this is such a pain in the ass. It's the absolute hardest part of installing the striker spring. G&G. Alright. Now that you've got that on, you're going to replace it in your bolts. This part is also going to be hard. I foresee more difficulty in this process. Okay. You place that spring back in there. Place your cocking piece back in there. Okay, this part is also hard. Strike with more force. In turn, more gas is released, and you have a more powerful shot. That's the point of upgrading the striker spring, because the original striker spring is quite weak compared to the upgraded one, which is overly strong. But the G&G one is the easiest one to acquire, since you can get it at most American airsoft sites like Airsoft GI or E-Bike. So you've got that together, and screw that back together, and then we'll just put the bolt back on. Yeah, well, this part's more like, self-explanatory. You just put those screws in with your screwdriver, just screw it in. Okay, I'm gonna have to change screw heads. I'm gonna move on to upgrading the mag since my hands are all greasy. I don't want to do this all in one video. You want to switch to your Phillips head, and in your mag there are, I don't think you can see that, there's 4 Phillips head screws. You want to remove all 4 of those. Those screws out, you're going to pry open the 2 halves of the mag with like a flathead or something, and you can see here's one of the parts that you can upgrade. I'm gonna not, because this part is relatively not put under much stress, so it would be kind of pointless for me to upgrade it. I will be taking out this striker and replacing it. So to take it out, pretty sure you just knock out this pin. I'm gonna switch to one of my straight screw heads. And you're going to just push this pin out. Pretty sure it's one of the sides of the pin has some crap to keep it on. Okay guys, so getting that pin out was kind of hard, but I got it out with a hammer and a pin punch or whatever. So basically you'll get this and the pin, and then this. Now this component was actually attached. It was like this. When your gun would hit this would smack and go forward and hit this part right here, and then this would go down and release gas. So for now this part is fine. To remove this component, there was a C-clamp that you had to remove, and then that would come out along with a spring right here, the spring. So now to install the new one, you have your new components. The valve knocker will now knock on this instead of a whole piece of crappy metal, and these 2 parts just screw together like this. So to install this, on one side, as you can see, this side, we're going to stick this in just like that, and then on this side going to have this spring. The spring is important, so don't forget that. Now we're just going to stick this in, and then we're going to put this in. Alright guys, when I was installing this, I actually did the C-clip backwards. You actually have to have most of the spring on this side and then install your C-clip. But other than that, this is basically it. Now every time you press this, there's tension on that side to bring it back. And you can just basically put this back in the magazine now, and you have your most of your power pack installed. You want to put this in upside down, by the way, because you want this sticking out. So, just like this, and put it in. And this is your power pack mag. This mag should perform a lot more reliably than the original mag, since the aftermarket parts are to improve consistency and maybe not performance, but mainly consistency and lifespan of the magazine. So I'm gonna continue putting this magazine back together, and thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's not exactly a complete video, but the important components of the power pack have been installed, so subscribe, keep up with my vids, and thanks for watching.